Sorry to do this in a video, but it would be a lot quicker than me texting this story. It won't take long. I want to thank Greg Colgrove for asking me to do today's thought for our rural pastors group. And sorry I'm walking and doing this, but I've been stacked up like cordwood with appointments today and my day's not done. So the thought was this. I was reminded of a story, and we all had occasions since then, but I was reminded of a story that when I pastored up in Hibbing, Minnesota, the church was bruised and quite broken when I got there. And after I was there a while, church was, gratefully it was growing and people were mending, and it was just some great days of ministry. But of course, there was opposition along the way. And so I took my pastoral staff out for lunch one day. And as we were getting ready to leave, I noticed two couples that were on the other side of the restaurant who were from the church. And they became quite critical. They had a lot to do with the history of the church. But they became quite critical and were vocal about it with other people. And of course, that always hurts. And this whole rural pastors, Greg, your concern was guys leaving the ministry. We stay healthy. How do we navigate through challenges? How do we stay inspired and healthy inside and continue in the ministry with longevity? So they stopped going to the church, but they were still talking to a lot of people and trying to create some divisive things. And as we were leaving, I left the staff, walked towards the door, and I went over to the table. And as I approached them, they saw me come and they kind of put their head down. And I went over and I was kind and I extended my hand to shake their hand. They had a hard time looking me in the eyes because they know that I know what they've been doing. And I was just kind to them and how are you and how you feeling? And one of them I asked about their kids and, they had quite short answers and I was just gracious and then, told them, hey, have a good day, enjoy your lunch. And I went, paid the bill and we were leaving, and our pastoral staff knew what they were doing, what they were up to. And my associate, he kind of looked at me surprised and said, how do you do that? Knowing what they've done, how can you walk over there and be so kind, gracious, calm with them? And I just said, it's something I learned a long time ago. And it's a scripture verse, one of them is Proverbs 19:11. And I'm going to paraphrase, but it says, a man who has good sense, or the prudent man, or the wise man, knows how to overlook an offense. And those kind of instances and people over the years, they wear you out, and it discourages a lot of pastors. And the Lord has kind of taught me and helped me work through that I want to be a wise man and know how to overlook an offense. And it's a process, but boy, after you make that a new pattern, it restores joy and confidence in the Lord in ministry. I'm going to send, right after this video, 3 questions to ask yourself that I came across. And hopefully it'll stir up something good for you and certainly some discussion in this thread. Appreciate y'all. Man, I hope you're having some great days in ministry and your home life is great. Greg, thanks for the privilege of sharing.